Starting off our list at number 10 is Matthew McConaughey in the movie Dallas Buyers Club. The drama history movie that came out in 2014 had McConaughey playing a Texan horse rider who was diagnosed with HIV and given 30 days to live. After being nominated an Oscar for his incredible performance, he opened up about the side effects he's had after the drastic weight loss he did for the role. He shed a total of 47 pounds, which is a lot when you're not a big guy to begin with. He confessed that he chewed a lot of ice on set while filming so that he could remain that thin throughout the movie. It was a distraction from eating real food. He lost the 47 pounds in just 4 months and says that by the end of filming his body was withering away. He said he lost energy from the neck down, but found he had a lot of energy from the neck up, saying he only needed 3 hours of sleep or less a day. He was very alert, almost hyper, but his body itself had no energy. You can imagine what a few hours of sleep a night and minimal calories will do to one's body. McConaughey says he wanted to portray his character in the most realistic way possible and that he's very proud of his performance regardless of the side effects. He went to a nutritionist afterwards to help him with his recovery. In at number 9 we have Norman Reedus, known for his incredible work in the TV show The Walking Dead. He plays Daryl Dixon, who has the reputation of a badass throughout the series, but he told People's Choice that he's actually kind of a wimp. He admits to having an impressive list of injuries while filming, some being as small as a black eye to as big as slicing his arm open. He said that a black eye came from the crossbow we see him using throughout every episode. He was running through a doorway with his crossbow and he hit it on the door frame, causing the bow to hit him right in the face, giving him a black eye. Ouch. But it was in the 5th season that he sliced his arm open badly. Apparently it happened during one of his favorite scenes and they caught the whole thing on tape, but obviously it didn't make it into the show. It was a scene where some of the cast was barricading a barn door to keep the zombie walkers out. His co-star said they saw his arm completely open, seeing his bone, and blood started pouring out. He had sliced through a tendon. I can only imagine how hard it would be to work with a crossbow every day after damaging your arm like that, but it didn't stop him. It was almost impossible for his arm to fully heal until filming was actually over, and then it could properly heal. Not too long after the incident did he slice open his hand on one of the vending machines on set, and not a slice that's like the size of a paper cut, another nasty one. Either he's just clumsy or he has really bad luck. Sliding into number 8 we have Michelle Yeoh on the movie Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, the drama fantasy that came out in 2000. She's known to be a legendary martial arts actress and she sure had her work cut out for her when it came to the demanding fight choreography in this movie. When shooting one fight sequence, her knee gave out. She soldiered through it and continued shooting, but it was later revealed that she had actually torn a tendon in her knee. Her injury was so bad it required surgery and months of physical therapy. She says that she's recovered now, but that it's impossible to recover 100% from an injury like that. Her future work will all be affected as well. We gotta give props to actors who don't use stunt doubles. Taking the number 7 spot is Daniel Day-Lewis from the movie There Will Be Blood, the drama history that came out in 2007. He's known for having method acting insanity due to the amount of injuries he's gone through for movies. For the movie The Boxer, he trained intensely for 3 years, which resulted in a broken nose and a herniated disc. And while filming Gangs of New York, he almost died of pneumonia because he refused medical treatment. Those injuries alone are enough to have an impact on the human body, but his biggest injury to date was while shooting a scene in There Will Be Blood. In the beginning of the movie, he is seen digging for silver down a California mine shaft that is 50 feet down. Turns out while he was filming, he fell down the shaft, sending him to the hospital for a broken rib, a bruised up body, and a concussion. I don't know if any movie is worth falling down a 50 feet mine shaft. His director said that he's lucky he's not dead. In at number 6 we have Christian Bale for The Machinist, the thriller drama that came out in 2004 and followed the story of a man, Trevor Resnick, who suffers from severe insomnia and psychological issues that led him to an accident. It ultimately leads him in a downward spiral of paranoia and delusion. In order to portray the character the way he wanted, he shed 62 pounds before filming. While doing an interview with The Guardian, Bale explained that it wasn't the process of losing weight that was hard, but the effect it had on him physically and emotionally. He said he was so skinny he could barely walk up a flight of stairs. He felt he was completely abandoning his body. It was like a roller coaster for him once he started adding food back into his stomach properly, because his stomach stomach completely rejected it. He was literally a walking skeleton, and that is some serious body damage, and most of it we can't even see. Just imagine how that affects everything inside his body, not just his weight. Halfway through the list at number 5 we have Kristin Chenoweth for her role in The Good Wife, which you never expect to be a place of a possible death. In 2012, during one of her days of filming, an overhead lighting rig fell on her in what people call a freak accident. She was rushed to Bellevue Hospital in New York City, where they found a 5-inch skull fracture. When the accident originally happened, she wanted to continue on with the show, but she could barely put sentences together. She was ultimately forced to leave the show to concentrate on her recovery and physical therapy. She continued on with her acting career even after she healed. Talk about dedication. And over the next few years, she found that more medical issues appeared in her ribs, hips, and neck. She even found out not too long ago that she had 3 cracked teeth that she never even noticed when the accident first happened. She still continues to commit herself to roles and her career, even though she is still recovering from the accident and all the damages it caused. Coming in at number 4 is Linda Blair from the legendary movie The Exorcist. She was known for her childhood role as the possessed Regan, but she said she's never been the same since she starred in the film. During one of the possession scenes, Blair had to be violently trashed around on a levitating bed. While filming the scene, there was a mechanical failure which ended up giving her a fracture in her spine. There are some screen test clips from the exact scene that you can find online, and it is pretty creepy to watch. Her fractured spine was bad enough, but later down the road it developed into scoliosis. Even 10 years after the film's release, she said she was still suffering from chronic pain. She began to see a chiropractor to help straighten her spine and restore spinal mobility. You think that would be enough to take a break from acting, right? Turns out after the first injury, she injured her back again when she flipped a motorcycle during the filming of another movie. Man, some people just don't know when to quit. And at number 3 we have Tippi Hedren from The Birds. If you haven't seen the 1963 horror movie, let's just say it involves a lot of birds. Mean, vengeful, human attacking birds. Apparently they used real birds on set too that weren't properly trained. During one of the scenes in a bedroom, the blonde actress was attacked by a huge flock of evil birds. While filming the scene, she fractured one of her legs and had severe scalp wounds. As if those injuries weren't enough, she kept filming after healing and was later on injured with a gallon of water that fell from above at 50 kilometers per hour and left her with a concussion and severe headaches for several years. She was awarded $1.5 million in damages by a court after the accident occurred in the soundstage. Once again, another actor that continued to act and devote herself to a role and other future roles as well. Okay guys, at number 2 we have Melanie Griffith from the movie Roar, which was titled as one of the most dangerous movies ever made, if not the most dangerous. The movie used real jungle cats and other animals while filming the film, many which were blamed for harming some of the cast and crew. Speaking of Tippi Hedren, she actually made the film back in the late 70s and casted some of her own family, including her daughter, Melanie Griffith. Small world. During one of the scenes, Melanie's face was completely mauled by one of the lions. She was rushed to the hospital where she had to have reconstructive plastic surgery done all over her face. They all continued filming regardless of injuries because Tippi and her husband were betting everything on the success of the film. They even sold their family home to fund it. Sorry mom and dad, but if a lion mangles my face, there is no way I'm still acting in your movie. That is just insane. There is now a documentary of the making of the movie where you can see pictures and footage of her injury. Here at number 1 we have George Clooney for his role in Syriana. His injury while filming was so bad that it had the actor contemplating suicide, so he said. The accident happened during a scene where Clooney's character was getting beaten up. He was tied to a chair which happened to just get pushed over, causing him to hit his head. Seems like just a little bump, but it actually bruised his brain in the process. It was so bad that spinal fluid was leaking from his nose. He had several different operations done before the pain subsided. Not only a fractured skull, but it also left him with an injured spine where he went through different surgeries and medications for. The aftermath of the injury left Clooney with constant pain and headaches that were so brutal he debated, and I quote, "Well, you just have to kill yourself at some point, you can't live like this." He ended up turning to pain therapy to relieve some of his symptoms. He continued on with his acting, and this role is actually what won him an Oscar, but I still don't think it is worth that in my opinion. Starting off our list in the number 10 spot is Jared Leto. Leto. He has lost significant weight for roles in some of his movies before, such as Dallas Buyers Club, but it was gaining weight for his role in Chapter 27 that really did a number on the actor. The movie came out in 2007, where Leto took on the role of Mark Chapman, the man who shot and killed John Lennon. Leto admitted in interviews that he gained so much weight so quickly that he suffered from gout. Gout is a form of arthritis caused by excess uric acid in the bloodstream. The more fat, the more uric acid. Leto told LA Times, and I quote, "Towards the end of the shoot, one of the glaring issues was the pain I had in my feet. I had a wheelchair because it was so painful. My body was in shock from the amount of weight I gained. It took about a year to get back to a place where I felt semi-normal. I don't know if I'll ever be back to the place I was physically." That is some serious dedication to a role, which he's proven to do in the past. But we probably don't realize the amount of damage he's really doing to his body in the process. We just enjoy seeing him doing his thing on the big screen. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, he's out there putting serious strain on his body. I feel kind of guilty. In the number 9 spot, we have Linda Hamilton. In the 1999 movie Terminator 2, Linda took on the role of a badass woman, Sarah Connor. She took the role very seriously, training her butt off to play the hardcore mother of the leader of the future world. With any action movie comes gunshots, which are extremely loud. We would never realize just how loud they are by watching it through a screen, but to put it into some perspective for you, a clap of thunder is about 120 decibels of volume, but a gunshot can be anywhere from 140 to 190 decibels. In one of the scenes in Terminator 2, the characters are escaping a mental hospital inside an elevator. While shooting a take, Hamilton forgot to put her earplugs back in, so when a round of gunshots was set off in the elevator, it caused permanent hearing loss for the actress. Those suckers must have been really loud. Sliding into the number 8 spot is Daniel Craig. His time playing James Bond left him with his fair share of injuries. In Casino Royale, 2 of his teeth were knocked out, and in Quantum of Solace, there was a blow to his face that required plastic surgery. He was also rushed to the hospital after slicing off the top of his finger. Gross. But it was actually his time on Spectra in 2015 that left him with a permanent injury. While filming a fight scene with villain Mr. Hanks, he hurt his knee. It required surgery and threatened to halt filming for 6 months. But Craig didn't want to be out that long, so he pushed through the pain. In the end, production was only stopped for a few weeks. He had a quick operation to get his knee back in working order. But Craig still faces the permanent damage to his knee and has had several operations since to try and fix the damage. In at number 7, we have Mila Kunis. We've seen the trend many times where actors are required to lose significant weight for the role in a movie. Well, it was Mila's role in Black Swan that required her to completely transform her body. Kunis told ET, and I quote, "I had to look skinny in order to look like a ballerina. I used to be a smoker, so I smoked a lot of cigarettes and I ate a limited amount of calories, 1,200 calories a day. I don't advocate this at all, it was awful." Her co-star Natalie Portman also put herself through a strict diet to lose 20 pounds for her ballerina role Nina. She faced tons of attention for her method approach acting and left Mila completely in the dark, receiving no credit for what she put her body through. You can only imagine the permanent damage that smoking does to your body, especially when used for weight loss. After the movie, Kunis told Harper's Bazaar that her body has never been the same. She dropped her weight down to 95 pounds for the film, which is a very dangerous weight for a lot of people to be at, and one that's hard to recover from. At number 6, we have Sylvester Stallone. Being a Hollywood action hero can be difficult and dangerous work. Just ask this legendary actor whose action thriller films have put him in danger on more than one occasion. He has a list of injuries from his films that include flesh wounds, broken ribs, dislocated shoulders, and broken neck bones. However, one injury has left him with permanent damage. While filming The Expendables 3, during one of the stunt scenes, he fell flat on his back and suffered from terrible back injury. He was hospitalized immediately and had to have major surgery to fix it. He now has a metal plate that has been fitted to his spine, which apparently squeaks sometimes when he walks. It will be in his back permanently, along with the horrifying memory of the tragic fall. Halfway through in the number 5 spot is Uma Thurman. Her injury in the movie Kill Bill caused a lot of controversy in the movie world. Thurman agreed to do her own stunts for the movie, and one of them was an action-packed driving scene. During one take, she lost control of the car, which caused her to veer off the road and crash into a tree. The crash was so bad she said she was in so much pain she thought she'd never walk again. Luckily, she was able to, but it did leave her with permanently damaged neck and screwed up knees. The footage of the crash Gash was later released and is actually very unsettling to watch. The thing that caused so much controversy though was that Thurman didn't want to film the scene and she was forced to. In an interview with the New York Times, Uma revealed that she had been harassed by the producer who forced her to perform the dangerous driving scene under bad conditions. She admitted she was scared. She went on to claim that the car seat wasn't screwed down properly and the straight road was actually a very twisty sand road. She sticks to her claims that the car was nothing but a death box that left her with permanent damages. Taking over the number 4 spot is Jim Caviezel, who took on the role of Jesus in the movie The Passion of the Christ. The story of Jesus shows that he suffered for the sins of mankind, but Jim Caviezel also went through some suffering to bring his story to life. You may have heard about the crazy story that he was struck by lightning during one of the cross scenes. They filmed the movie in Rome and the cross scene was filmed on a mountaintop. That day of filming there happened to be dark clouds in the sky and it was really windy, and out of nowhere he was struck by lightning. They noticed smoke coming out of his ears as well as his hair looked like the typical just got struck by lightning hairdo. He was okay, but we can imagine being struck by lightning does some damage to the human body. He also faced another injury while filming the prolonged torture scene. One of the actors missed with the whip and tore a 14-inch gash into Caviezel's back. He still carries the scar and also the memory, but defends the violence portrayed in the film as necessary to telling Christ's story. He's definitely going to heaven. At number 3 we have Jackie Chan, another actor who refuses to use a stunt double. He's famously known for his martial arts skills and wild stunts, but one of them left him with a serious injury. His career has been filled with stunts, which also means that his career has been filled with injuries. The most serious one was when he was filming Armor of God. One of the stunts required him to jump and grab a tree branch 25 feet above the ground. Well, the tree branch snapped and he fell the 25 feet, crashing into rocks down below. His skull was fractured and apparently a piece of rock had entered his brain. He had to have immediate brain surgery where they ended up putting a plastic plug inside the hole that the rock had created. He's left with permanent brain damage and also has some hearing loss on one side of his head thanks to the injury. Alright guys, at number 2 we have Dylan O'Brien. We have another serious brain injury on the list. Production on the final chapter in The Maze Runner was suspended indefinitely due to a horrific on-set accident involving the actor. The young star suffered from severe brain trauma when a stunt went wrong. During one of the stunts that involved a motorcycle, it quickly went wrong and he broke the majority right side of his face. He had to undergo reconstructive surgery that left him with permanent damage and 4 metal plates in his head. He says he feels extremely lucky to come out alive after the accident, and he said he had a brilliant doctor to help salvage his face and what he used to look like. The film's overall production had a massive delay after the failed driving stunt. Production of the film didn't resume until almost a year later, pushing the film's release date into 2018. The good news is that O'Brien was able to finish the movie and he still insisted that the stunt be in the film. Talk about dedication and insanity. Taking our number 1 spot is David Holmes, a stunt actor who was most famous for being Daniel Radcliffe's double in the Harry Potter movies. He was Daniel's stunt double for the whole Harry Potter franchise and has a huge resume of stunts before that, including underwater and flying stunts, which are considered to be the most dangerous. It was during the practice of one of the flying stunt scenes in Deathly Hallows that something went terribly wrong. The stunt required David to be jerked backwards with a wire that was attached to his back, which would then land him on a crash mat underneath. Instead, he flung into a wall, and when he landed on the crash mat, he immediately knew something was wrong because he couldn't move his fingers. Turns out he had broken his neck and is now paralyzed from the neck down. Daniel Radcliffe remains close friends to Holmes and says he also felt a sense of tragedy when it happened. The two still continue to spend time together and try to move forward in the best way that they can. Starting off our list at number 10 is Lil Kim. Remember Lil Kim, the cute sassy rapper who used to hang out with Puff Daddy and the whole Junior Mafia clique? The famous rapper was known for her raunchiness, whether it be through the microphone or through her pictures. However, over the year her pictures started to become unrecognizable. In the past decade, we've seen her transform her face with several different plastic surgeries, each time leaving us with more shocking results. Her once round nose is now extremely thin, and even her eyes sit differently on her face. What shocked people the most was in more recent pictures, not only was her face changed, but so has her complexion. She has lightened her complexion to a point where she no longer resembles a black woman. It's sad because the rapper has been open about her appearance and said it's because of her low self-esteem. She opened up during an interview and said, "All of my life men have told me I wasn't pretty enough, even men I was dating. To this day, when someone says I'm cute, I can't see it. I don't see it no matter what anybody says." Celebrity plastic surgeon Dr. Gary Breslow tells Page Six that he thinks she may need some help and that he fears she has a plastic surgery addiction. Based on her photos, he estimated she likely spent $20,000 to $25,000 on her surgeries, which include cheek implants, rhinoplasty, a chin implant, lip augmentation, and skin bleaching. At number 9 is Dolly Parton. There are so many reasons that people love Dolly, and her signature look is just one of them. She's open about her love for plastic surgery, which she couldn't even hide even if she wanted to, as her look has obviously changed over the years. She was always a pretty girl to begin with, but as the years went on, she began to get a bit of work done here and there. It's hard to believe that she turned 73 this year considering how good she looks, but there is no doubt that her plastic surgery played a part in that. The country artist has admitted to her numerous cosmetic procedures, which include breast implants, a brow lift, a facelift, eyelid surgery, chin augmentation, and rhinoplasty, which is a nose job by the way. We might not agree to her list of tweaks, but they have all contributed to her iconic Dolly Parton look, and she is thrilled about it. How could we forget her famous quote, "It cost a lot of money to look this cheap. As long as she's happy, I'm happy." Taking over the number 8 spot is Amanda Lepore. She is a transgender nightlife diva who people call a moving sculpture. She's a person who has made her own body her life's work. She has no problem flaunting her plastic surgery journey. She has undergone cosmetic alterations to almost every part of her body that can physically be altered. She's had booty silicone injections, a nose job, a facelift, her hairline lowered, cheek fillers, breast implants, and to get an hourglass figure, she even had her bottom ribs broken. It's been reported that the total cost of all her cosmetic procedures is over $1 million. She loves that people think she looks doll-like and says that all of her procedures went smoothly. She says, "Fortunately, everything was at its best when I had it done. I didn't have to do silicone injections in the boobs and things like that. They had implants by then. In those ways, I was lucky, and the sex change was really good. I didn't have to fix everything." The diva wrote a book called Doll Parts, which shares her entire journey as a transgender beauty queen. Sliding into number 7 is Mickey Rourke. The actor was once being called the next Marlon Brando, as he was known for his movies like Body Heat, 9.5 Weeks, and Angel Heart. However, over the years, fans can't help but notice the drastic change in the former heartthrob's looks. In 2017, photos of the actor went viral when people were stunned at how unrecognizable he looked. He's opened up about his plastic surgery, saying that it was all a result of injuries he got when he was an amateur boxer before he became an actor. He said, "Most of it was to mend the mess of my face, but I went to the wrong guy to put my face back together. I had my nose broken twice, I had 5 operations on my nose, and 1 on a smashed cheekbone. There has been debate whether the procedures were all reconstructive or some of them cosmetic. Experts have reported that he has also had a facelift, eyelid surgery, soft tissue fillers, cheek implants, and a chin implant." He posted a picture on Instagram of him wearing a bandage and shaking hands with his plastic surgeon and captioned it, "Now I am pretty again." His fans weren't too impressed by that. At number 6 is Joan Rivers. She is famously known to do it all, being an American comedian, actress, writer, producer, and television host. Throughout her career, she has been known for constantly changing her face, but in 2015, it was revealed just how many procedures she's had done. She sadly passed away on September 4th, 2014, and her daughter Melissa wrote a memoir called The Book of Joan: Tales of Mirth, Mischief, and Manipulation as a tribute to her life. In the book, she reveals that Joan had a total of 348 cosmetic operations done over her lifetime. Her daughter explains that she was never happy with the way she looked, no matter how many procedures she had gotten done. It was just never enough. Her daughter said she shared these details because she wanted people to know that even though she was always cracking jokes in her comedy routines, she always felt less than when it came to her appearance, which is why she originally turned to plastic surgery. Halfway through the list at number 5 is LaToya Jackson, the American singer and actress who is the 5th child of the Jackson family. Yes, Michael Jackson's own sister also had an addiction to plastic surgery. When you look at the family as a whole, plastic surgery in general just runs in the family. LaToya Jackson has always been known as a natural beauty when she first started her career, but over the years she has had so so much work done, she is now unrecognizable. It's almost scary how identical her face looks to Michael Jackson's post-surgery face. The most obvious work she's had done is her tightly pinched nose, skin tightening, cheek implants, and skin bleaching. People say that she looks exactly like her brother did, so they must have shared the same surgeon, which is ironic because LaToya once criticized her brother Michael for being obsessed with going under the knife and publicly blamed it on the violence and cruelty their father Joe showed them. She is now 63 years old, but you would never know because she literally looks like she's 35. In spot number 4 is Joan Van Ark. The actress is known for her talent, but also for her knife work and plastic surgery scandal. She's known to have one of the most disastrous plastic surgery cases, which is far from humorous, so do not think I am poking fun of her at all. This is just facts. Her multiple surgeries ended up leaving her with a permanently stunned look. Her first surgery was Botox injections to help any signs of aging, such as wrinkles and lines. It was then reported that she had a procedure done called blepharoplasty, which is where they create a hollow space between and above the eyes, which is ultimately what led her to always look like she's in some sort of state of surprise or shock. She's also had a lip augmentation done, a nose job, and face fillers. The beautiful blonde actress was once famous for her fresh face look when she started her career in the 80s. Now she is known for her plastic surgery transformation and for all the wrong reasons. At number 3 we have Dennis Avner, also known as Catman. He actually became a celebrity throughout his journey with plastic surgery. For years he destroyed his body for fame as he morphed his entire body into looking like a tiger. He holds the world record for body modifications, having numerous tattoos, piercings, and cosmetic surgery done. He even went as far as having whiskers, cat ears, and a mechanical tail. It was reported that he spent thousands and thousands of dollars for his surgeries, which included bifurcation, which is the splitting of the upper lip, surgical pointing of the ears, silicone cheek and forehead implants, tooth filing, tattoos, and facial piercings. He was known all over the world and fans jumped at any opportunity to take a picture with him. Sadly, in November of 2012, he was found dead in his home, but his legacy still goes on. When he was asked why he started this transformation in the first place, he said, "I felt inspired after discussion with a Native American chief who told me to follow the ways of the tiger." Talk about taking someone's words a little too seriously. And at number 2 is Pete Burns. He was the singer and frontman of the band Dead or Alive. Not only was he known for his music and talent, he was also known for his wild plastic surgery transformation. His career started with smash hits like the song You Spin Me Right Round, but later he decided to leave music behind, which is when he was known for his reality TV and his dramatic change in appearance. He flaunted his work and even appeared on UK's Celebrity Botched Up Bodies, where he said his famous quote, "I hope when I go to heaven that God doesn't recognize me." It all started with a simple nose job but went up from there. He had 4 surgeries done on his nose, 2 sets of cheekbone implants, and 2 lip augmentations. Having these repeated operations led to bad infections in his face and lips, which left him needing a ton of corrective procedures after that. It got as serious of him having to be rushed to the hospital after a lip augmentation had gone wrong. He was on his deathbed and recovered after 10 days of being on heavy blood thinners. He still went through other surgeries after that despite risking his life. He explained in an interview with ABC, "I see myself as my own clay and I was remodeling it." Taking our number 1 spot is another man who became a celebrity with his crazy desire to become the next human Ken doll. His name is Rodrigo Alves, but likes to go by the human Ken doll because he literally looks just like one. A lot of young boys dream of growing up to look like their favorite superhero, but for this UK celebrity Big Brother star, his obsession was to always look like a plastic doll. His obsession went further than anyone could ever imagine, spending a total of $883,000 on surgeries. His surgeries include hair transplant, Botox, face fillers, pec implants, fake six-pack implants, multiple nose jobs, liposuction to his jaw, fillers in his arms, calf shaping, bum lift, facelift, and rib removal. 4 ribs in total. In January of 2018, he told Sun Online that he was done with plastic surgery and was content with his final look. People are shocked when they see him, but even more shocked when they see his before picture. He says he now wants to focus on building his own brand. He said, and I quote, "I now want to focus on building my brand with my style, fashion, personality, and lifestyle. That's what I want to be known for." Starting off our list at number 10 is Michael Jackson. He was one of the greatest performers to walk the earth and his personal life captured the interest of millions. recommendations, mostly for his change of his look. He started out as a young singer in the band Jackson 5, where he rocked a black afro and dark skin. There was an accident that occurred where his hair actually caught on fire, so he began wearing wigs and also had permanent tattooing done to his scalp. But besides his hair, one of the most obvious parts of his transformation was the change in his skin color. Many people claimed he changed his color from black to white as a way of being accepted. Michael went on the Oprah show and claimed he had a skin condition and that was the reason it changed color. But reports say he had steroids and other medications, also known as bleaching agents. Throughout his career, he had multiple surgeries done to his face, including facelifts, nose jobs, chin implant, and lip tattooing to make them appear thinner. It's hard to say what the real reason was, but it can be assumed that the fame and money he had definitely played an effect on it. At number 9 is Farrah Abraham. She was cast on MTV show 16 and Pregnant when she was just 16 years old and pregnant, and then went on to be one of the OGs on the show Teen Mom. She was in the spotlight for years with her daughter Sophia, which is why fans were shocked when her image and behaviors began to change. In 2010, she had her first big surgery done, which was breast implants. It was only noticeable because she's always been a very petite girl, so they definitely stuck out on her tiny little frame. In 2012, she got a rhinoplasty and chin implant, which reports say cost her $16,000. The following year, in 2013, she got her second breast implant surgery and was showing off her new D cups. This year is when her image and also her reputation began to change, as she got involved in the porn industry, promoting her adult film at the Gentleman's Club in Las Vegas, and also a personal sex tape leaked onto the internet. She also got involved in a sex toy industry where she created her own line. In 2015, the star went to get more permanent lip fillers, but she had an allergic reaction. She posted the pictures and captioned it, "Girlfriends, don't say I didn't warn ya. #botched, #ER, #fixit." Since then, she has had countless procedures done. Her breasts again, her lips again, other face injections, and bum implants and bum fillers. She actually goes on her Instagram live video with her daughter Sophia in the room as she gets her bum fillers, by the way. You can just imagine the controversy. We can imagine that she feels the need to fit this type of image because she's now so involved in the sex/porn industry. Taking over spot number 8 is Cher. The actress and singer is a legend for her talent, but also for her looks. She basically hasn't aged a day because a lot of her financial success into plastic surgery. The best part is she has no problem admitting it. She flaunts the work she's had done with pride and says that she hopes to smash the stigma that cosmetic surgery is something to be ashamed of. During an interview with Glamour in 2018, she said, "It makes me happy, and you know, if I want to put my tits on my back, they're mine to do so." The actress admits to having a facelift and also Botox to reduce wrinkles and frowning lines. UK's leading aesthetic doctor, Dr. Nick Milojevic, says it looks like she's also had a neck lift and an eye operation. He also said, and I quote, "She would also have regular dermal fillers, as at her age the skin loses volume and needs to be plumped." Regardless of what she's had done, when she took on a role in Mamma Mia 2 last year, everyone kept asking, how the hell does Cher look so good? So I guess that beauty is pain. In the number 7 spot is Donatella Versace, the Italian fashion designer and current vice president of the Versace group, and also its chief designer. She is currently 64 years old and has a net worth of a whopping $200 million. The Versace company's stakes are divided between herself, her daughter Allegra, and her brother Santo Versace. The total value of the company is $1.7 billion. So needless to say, her company is a successful one. As time has gone on, her bags are not the only thing that has changed, her look has also, and significantly. She isn't known for having the most natural style, and she's the first one to admit it. In 2013, during an interview with Sunday's Vogue Festival, she said, "I am not genetically like this. I use tons of cream and take care of my hair and skin." She went on to admit that she has had Botox done on her face, but denies that she has had any other work done besides that. The fashion designer explains that it takes a lot to get her well-crafted look, which most people would expect from a designer. She can't even remember the last time she wore flat shoes. I can only imagine the expectations she even puts on herself as one of the world's most iconic designers. At number 6 is Pamela Anderson, the legendary actress and model mostly known for her work in Playboy magazine and on Baywatch. But before she became this sexual figure, she actually appeared in the family television show Home Improvement. It was her first television appearance and she took on the role of Pam. Looking back at pictures now, you would probably not even know that it was her, because I didn't. Her looks completely changed after her first breast enlargement surgery and lip injections. Last year in 2018, America's holistic plastic surgeon Dr. Anthony Oon did a report of all the surgeries he suspects Pamela has had done based on his professional experience and knowledge. Throughout the report, he states that he thinks she's had some fillers injected into her cheeks, laser treatments done to her skin, Botox injections, and some fillers or fat transfers within the skin on her face. The model has always been recognized for her looks, so I can only imagine the pressure that comes with that. Halfway through at number 5 is Carrot Top, an American stand-up comedian and actor whose original name is actually Scott Thompson. If for some reason you don't know who he is, he's a guy known for his bright red afro hair, hence the Carrot Top nickname. Over the years, rumors have spread that he has undergone a number of different plastic surgery operations, and understandably so, because looking at pictures, I would definitely think that he has. However, he continues to deny that he has had any work done. During an interview back in 2013, he was asked about what he thought on the rumors. His response was, "People think I've had plastic surgery. No, it just takes a lot of makeup to make me look good." He went on to say that people have made jokes that he looks like The Mask, and all he has to say is, and I quote, "I'm sorry that I look good. I don't think I look anything different than I did when I started comedy." According to plastic surgeon Dr. Oon, he says he definitely has had some work done. He says yielding an excessively arched brow and a smooth face is the result of laser treatment. He's looking more and more like a muscle-bound cartoon character. Well, what do you guys think? Plastic surgery or makeup? Here we are at number 4 with Janice Dickinson. She has been referred to as the world's first supermodel. She deserves that title, seeing as she did pave the way for the thousands of women who have since joined the competitive modeling industry. But she's just one of the millions of people to see her life destroyed by drugs and alcohol. Janice opens up and explains that she managed to avoid drugs entirely for the first 5 years of her career, but finally gave into temptation following a bad breakup. She said her way of coping was through the large amounts of free cocaine that she got as a result of her success. The model spent the next couple of decades filling her body with drugs and also plastic surgery. She has never been shy to admit that she has had breast implants, lip injections, and other work done on her face. She even appeared on the hit show Botched to get her breast implants fixed, and the doctors were concerned on how she would handle the medications with her past drug addiction. The former model is often spotted out in public without makeup ever since appearing on the show where she exposed it all. Alright guys, at number 3 we have Tara Reid. Most of us girls will know her from her role in the movie Josie and the Pussycats, and most guys will know her from the American Pie movies. The actress was very successful, finding her way to play the hottie in most of her movies. She had a naturally beautiful look, but over the years she has gone through some awful plastic surgery experiences. In 2006, she had a procedure done called liposculpting, which went horribly wrong and actually botched her stomach. She wanted to get the surgery done in the first place to upkeep her hottie reputation, but turns out it cost her a lot of work. During an interview in 2007, she opened up about it and said, "My stomach became the most ripply, bulgy thing. I had a hernia, this huge bump next to my belly button. As a result, I couldn't wear a bikini and I lost a lot of work." She also explained that her breast implants were botched by the same doctor, which left her with deformed nipples. She later had both procedures reversed, but it wasn't able to fully fix the issues. She was last spotted in February 2019 jogging and working out with her trainer in LA. In spot number 2 is Jocelyn Wildenstein. Hey, we have the same name. Honestly, I'm not totally sure what she's famous for. If you go online, it basically said she's famous for her extensive cosmetic surgery and also her divorce from billionaire Alec Wildenstein in 1999. Her actual Wikipedia title is American Socialite. Whatever that means. Not only was she in the tabloids for her divorce, but she also was referred to as Catwoman for having feline features. Despite what everyone else says about her, she claims that she hasn't had that much surgery and blames her Swiss background for her high cheekbones and cat eyes. Just last year, during an interview with Paper Magazine, she pulled out photographs from when she was in her teen and her early 20s because she wanted to show the interviewer that she has always had these features. Yeah, all I can see is a lot of plastic surgery. But what do you guys think? Taking our number 1 spot is Heidi Montag. She became famous from the MTV hit show The Hills, where she was Lauren Conrad's best friend. The show was a reality-based show, so Heidi only played herself. But the young star became famous for her insane amount of plastic surgery more than anything. She shocked the world when she had 10 plastic surgeries done in just 24 hours. Not procedures, surgeries. It was a brutal process and she barely made it out alive, literally. She was just 23 years old when she went under the knife back in 2010, and she came out looking about 23 years older with completely different facial features. So here is the list of what she had done. A mini brow lift, Botox in the forehead and frown area, a nose job revision, a chin reduction, fat injections in the cheeks, nasolabial folds and lips, neck liposuction, the ears pinned back, a breast augmentation revision increased to a size F, liposuction on the waist, hips and inner and outer thighs, and buttock augmentation. She had surgery done a few years prior, so she wasn't really new to it. During an interview with People magazine, she was asked why she did it all at once, and she replied, "That's kind of my personality, everything at once. And I really just wanted to go under anesthesia once instead of going under and under again. It felt safer to me. Unfortunately, it was anything but safe. Turns out her heart actually stopped for a minute and she was technically dead on the operation table." She continued to say that the risk wasn't worth it and that she is done. I quote, "Risking my own life for vanity." She does regret her decision and calls it a huge mistake, but says it forced her to grow as a person.